My story on the Council of 12. I was having really profound paranormal experiences, which I had quite a lot when I was younger. I'd encountered ET stuff. I witnessed a few things myself. I went to a church, a spiritualist church, and I met this old lady, Gwen, who took a look at me and said, start in my class on Monday. The first time I ever meditated, I was in sort of some rooms, you know, I can describe it. There was like blacks, greens, greys, sort of colouring in this room. And there was some sort of being at this, I say a control panel, but that's what it sort of looked like if it was on the other side of a desk sort of thing, but like a keyboard type thing. Well, what's this about? This is weird. I was like, really shouldn't have been there. This thing looked up and it just sort of glanced at me and it sort of did like a double take. Right? When I come back from the meditation, when I come back to myself, my teacher, Gwen, said, Rich, where did you go? I thought you were supposed to tell me. She said, you just disappeared. You just went up and you were gone. I tried to explain to her and she was like, oh, they don't like to talk about that in the church. So anyway, so I thought, oh, I'll just try and keep these experiences to myself. Like, I couldn't really talk about them. She was interested and she was a believer. And she was like 83. I did meditation twice, maybe 3 times a week. They were getting darker and weirder and darker. And it sort of just progressed. Just one day I was in meditation and I was basically used to take you to this garden. Went into my garden and I got a fountain and an oak tree and all this beautiful water that I drink. It's the water of life. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, oh, this is nice actually. I'm kind of chilling like. And this thing just appeared, just came into my garden. And basically, I sort of like, I was just fed up at this point. So we had a little battle in my meditation. I can remember just getting so frustrated and angry that I just sent this energy out to myself in just temper really. My garden just disappeared and I was stood in like an arena and there was all these different beings just sat around me. They all looked quite shocked and then it went back to my garden. So I did it again. I was like, what was that? And I did it again. All of a sudden it was just these beings. They were all just sat around me. I kept this bubble out and there was these beings. So I was like, what are you doing? And there was one that came forward and said, please don't be angry, but we've been testing you to see your limits and like what you do under these circumstances and different things like that. And like, I remember thinking, well, that's pretty out of order. I said, who are you? And they said, we're the Council of 12. From that moment on, I would randomly just appear there in this place. Oh, I went on for years. And they would ask me questions about everything in the world. My point of view on it. Yeah, it was a pretty crazy time in my life. I really couldn't talk about it. I talked about it with others in the group. Like, there was no one to guide me on it or, explain this stuff to me. So we started Paranormal Wales. I started investigating the paranormal and that led me on an unbelievable journey.
We started having activity in the house and it was strange because before we started having the activity, Richard got in touch with us and that's when we started to become friends because he helped me and my partner through these experiences that we were having. I was lying in bed, my partner was sleeping, and I looked into my doorway and there was this figure and it was really tall. It was about 6'5", I would have said, and it just looked like it wasn't an apparition per se, because I can see an apparition probably stays for 2 or 3 seconds and it's gone, right? I can still feel it, I can still sense it, but when I see it, it doesn't stay there for too long. This, I was looking at it and it was looking at me, and I was wide awake. I woke my partner. I was like, what is that? What the hell is going on? And she seen it. It was like, Jan, there's another one in the other corner. And these figures, they came in and they sat on the bed. When I spoke to Richard about it the next day, he gave me one of the best advice, and I've still passed this on to people. The best bit of advice that I've ever had and probably will ever have was document it. So I sat down with a camera and I went through the entire experiences we'd had up until that point. And as I'm talking about this being, there is a voice on the camera. I'm in the house pretty much on my own at this point, and the voice says, "Truth seeker, share with us." This was lasting for a good 5 minutes. I was looking away. As I got to invest. Jesus. And it was through that experience that I decided that I needed to learn more about the paranormal, and I wanted to help other people that had gone through what I'd gone through. And that's when things got interesting. Is that radio stations?
Yeah, so it does. It sweeps through radio stations and it brings. It's a spirit's able to sort of manipulate the white noise to bring their voice through. You said your name, Andra.
In October of 2013, I attended a kind of a training exercise for investigators near Tongwynlais Woods, near Castle Cork. Myself, my partner Richard, and several members of his team were there, and it was my first time ever seeing a ghost box. And when I first laid eyes on it, I was fascinated that there was a device out there that could possibly bring through spirit activity. That I found was absolutely just, it blew my mind. I would be completely honest with you, it absolutely blew my mind. Especially when the damn thing said my name and gave me a message that from this point on I would start to learn things, and that I would meet different people, that my view of the world would change, and that there was a lot of information that I would be given over the course of the next few years. As 2013 continued, we conducted our first set of paranormal experiments using a spirit or Ouija board. Sadly, there is no video evidence of these sessions. However, we did record them using a dictaphone, and some of the EVPs that have come through the recording are amazing, as you will see.
Can you give us the initial of your name, please?
Nine. 9 is the neurological symbol of completion.
Are you trying to tell us 9, please? Shit.
Yes. Are you known to one of us? Can you guide the triangles in the first initial of your name, please? V. Is it you, Van? Smell guide. Is it?
Yeah.
Is the message concerning all of us here today? Yes. How many beings of love and light are with us today, please? 8. Have we had contact with any of these beings before?
Are the ETs involved in this, please? Can you tell us?
I've been meaning to ask her. Yes. Is that why we had a visitation from whatever it was back in August? Yeah.
Are there ETs against us, please? Are there some that's for us?
I kept telling my team on Paranormal Wales that if you don't stop negativity, it's going to bite us on the arse. It's going to bring us down. I thought I got a choice by you. There is real and unequivocal evil in the world, and it seems to be coming from a spiritual source, and it will affect people and knock them flat. And I can't do anything but the big things, but I can do things about these people. So I started really throwing myself into helping people understand themselves and the paranormal, and how the two coincide. And but yeah, they did actually bring Paranormal Wales down, and it was through nothing more than negativity, and it knocked me. Oh, it knocked me sideways. I'm not gonna lie to you. It really did. And I thought, what am I putting myself in? Why have I been put in this position? Who am I? What am I? Why is this? Why me, like? All the people in the frigging world. I'm thinking, what's next on my journey? So now, I'm learning about the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, JP Morgans of the world, super families, Egypt, Nostradamus, the Knight Templars, money, the Illuminati, the Illuminati, David Icke, Zeitgeist, Atlantis, Göbekli Tepe, Panupiku, the Titanic, the Houses of Congress, this legislation in there that says we will test biological and psychological weapons on our own people if it's deemed in within national security. I'm learning about the Federal Reserve, Enoch and Isaac and the Bible and Jesus and every culture on earth with the ETs. I'm learning about biblical stories and different versions of them. The magic of maths, pi, it's infinite pi. Every code, every birthday that is of anyone that has ever existed is written within pi, and every universe that could be exist, because it's infinite. That's what infinity means. It's infinite. There's numbers beyond our existence. And all this, I'm having a spiritual awakening through meditation and learning about my own abilities. And I've had this spiritual experience where I think I've stood before God, and something is changing in me, and I'm starting to learn about my own energy and my own abilities through colours and tarot cards and crystals and meditation, and I'm being taken on these journeys. I'm learning about what your mind can create and all these things, and I'm getting messages from ETs, and I'm getting messages from angels and demons and different forms of life and spirit, and I'm starting to tell people things, and they're coming true, and people are saying, oh my God, how do you know that? I'm seeing things. I've never met this person in my life. And in the process of having Paranormal Wales, I met Jazzy Jeff, I call him, but Jared.
My world had been turned upside down, and the activity just kept happening. We were doing a live stream for people who followed our Facebook page when I worked as a medium, and just some crazy stuff started happening with the mics, and this message came through saying it was a voice from heaven. And when I found out who that voice belonged to years later, it changed everything for me. So Richard had lost Paranormal Wales, and over the course of the next few years, I would join him more and more on cases and become part of what we now call Paranormal Now. and this is some of the evidence that we've captured, just of everything, guys. Life after death, spirit communication, ufology, just you name it. We had some kind of experience with it. Right, okay, let's try going this way then. Let's try going this way.
I'm just documenting it and all that.
It's a weird fucking noise.
I heard something. Sound like you were wheezing.
I think we're pretty much.
Pretty much. Did you know, Sarah, in her teenage years? Oh, okay, thank you. Okay.
I feel like my face is fuzzing.
That's weird because it's touching your face. It's actually touching. I got it on camera, but it's touching your face. And it's gone. Can you move towards us, please? We can see you on this camera. Are you waving at us? Can you wave?
Thank you.
Can you walk in? Stand up in the middle of the kitchen. Come to the middle of the doorway. I'm not going to do you any harm. Oh. I went into this room. Right. I just went through the wall.
One of the telling signs there is a spirit in a home is an anomalous electromagnetic fields, especially if such fields can act in a responsive manner. It is widely known within the paranormal community that a spirit can generate electromagnetic energy, and we can use this energy to form a communication by asking the spirit to step closer to the device so it lights up for yes and step away for no. When we enter a home or place of work, we map out any source of electromagnetic energy we can find, be it natural or man-made. This includes things like Wi-Fi routers, gas or electric meters, and some appliances such as fish tanks in the home and large pieces of machinery and vending machines in the workplace. We also consider sources we may carry with us, such as radios or mobile phones, and are constantly vigilant whether these are responsible for any signal we pick up. When we see a hit on the meter, which is outside what has been mapped, we consider it to be anomalous, and will then do our best to determine the source. If it is a spirit, then we will ask for communication. If not, then we know we need to investigate further. In 2015, we noticed a strange signal in a house near Swansea, but at the time we believed it was localised to this house. It was not until January 2016 that we started to notice it on other investigations about 25 miles away from the first one that we started to take further notice. Keep an eye on the time, because if this is the same phenomena, around about 9 to 9:30 that field will grow.
It'll go from here to middle of the road, and then it'll go from here like this. And it's always about 25 foot from the centre point. It's about 50 foot wide reading. So if I go in there, it's gone. And then I come back, and it should be back.
Yeah, do it again for the camera, do it when it's out.
As it goes, as it goes, as it goes, as it goes. It's gone to green.
Okay, yeah.
And I come forward, and it should come back to yellow. Now yellow now will stay on through the doors Out into another road.
If I turn it, right, it's just not possible. It's just not, that's just not possible, but you're not doing anything, right? It's changing the current.
Anything?
Yeah, massive.
Follow it.
Yes, Look. It's the fucking house, man. It's the whole fucking house. It's the whole street.
As soon as you put it in there,
Regular things, the alarm clock.
There's nothing out in the corridor.
nothing out in the corridor, right? Nothing out in the corridor. As soon as you put it in there, bang. Did you see that then?
Yeah, as I said, should we ask out? Can you make both of them go off, please? Can you pass through the both of them? Thank you.
Brilliant.
That's what we wanted to see.
Excellent.
Right. Do you know any? Do you have any information on this field we have been looking into, please? Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is this field man-made?
No.
Is this field paranormal?
Yes.
Thank you. Can we pick up this field better? Answer my question.
Right, what was the question?
Better than normal people.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Is it caused by the Earth? This field, please. Right.
Thank you.
Is it the field causing these paranormal events to happen? Okay.
Has it anything to do with the energy shifts of the Earth?
Are people on the Earth linked? So that's what's creating this field, please.
Right.
Okay, we're getting somewhere.
Is the field localized to this area? No.
Right.
Are we likely to pick this up again? Yes. Are you extraterrestrial?
Are you like on a higher plane of existence, like not spirit, like something else? That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Are we awakening? Is humanity awakening right now? Are parts of humanity awakening right now? Yeah. Do we need more people to wake up? Yeah. So tonight, it's going to be a fun-packed evening of events, and we're going to attempt to answer some questions. Do these apps and different paranormal bits of technology and stuff actually work? Now, we have together a wide variety of different apps and different things.
Right, yeah, we decided to do an experiment where, because people ask us lots of questions about the stuff we use and the equipment. So we've done this so we can show you how we do our investigations and the equipment we use and how we communicate with spirit on a non-mediumistic side.
Early in 2017, I had a dream where myself, Richard, and another investigator, Martin, were sat in my house and we were doing experiments with ghost box devices. These devices take an audio source of which spirit can manipulate to make a live EVP, and you can get messages from them. We had used them on cases, and throughout the last 3 years We had had profound messages whenever we turned on these devices, whether it was communicating with someone else's loved ones, or having messages from the Council of 12, and other personal messages.
Say my name. Jared.
I just said my name.
Yeah. Jared.
Is this somebody who wants to speak to me? Can you say something else?
I definitely said Jared. So hopefully it's going to go well, but it's just because we get asked lots of questions when we go on cases and from the Joe public. So this is an opportunity for you guys to see us doing what we do, and you know, we'll explain it as we go along, and hopefully it should be good. So we decided to do this thing called the Now Investigations live, which I wasn't really on board with, because I thought it was dangerous, because we can't control what's coming out of the ghost box, and the other reason is because I've seen how powerful this stuff can be, and we started getting these messages.
Where are you? Tell us where you are. Invisible. No way.
Did it say that? It did, didn't it? I thought it did.
Where are you?
Invisible.
It did. Where are you two? Are you with us now? Are you in this room?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
I think what we need to do
Please
is
stop that.
please stop that.
No way.
That turned off and it says please stop that.
Doesn't have to lift a finger.
I didn't have to lift a finger.
I'm more than welcome.
You're more than welcome. Have a look at on there, see if we can find blocking.
Whoa.
What?
I've got a few thoughts.
This was a series of 11 live broadcasts on YouTube between 2017 and 2018, and in this time Richard would have the validation of the Council of 12. Are you communicating with anyone else here on Earth?
Did I say we are the 12?
We are the 12.
Yeah, I thought so.
But I would also have something really personal. My brother, who I had lost in 1999, came through to me and told me that he had been communicating with me psychically and through the ghost box devices throughout the various cases that we had investigated. Is that Jonathan? Because I just heard my name and I heard Bruv before.
I heard Jared. Johnny.
Yeah.
Is that your name? Can you give us that?
Johnny's my brother's name.
Yeah, Johnny's your brother.
Can Jonathan speak to you? This had a profound impact on all of us. We realised that doing these investigations live was probably a very big mistake because of some of the things that came through and how personal they could be. For me, it was a chance to reconnect with someone so dear to me, the course of this incredible journey. This is a small sample of some of the amazing messages that came through from Jonathan and the Council of 12.
You are the deposit of 15 bucks.
Is Jonathan here?
Goodbye, Jeanette. This is you.
Yeah. Alright. Stop.
Along the way. Wait, what? But why?
Watching.
Strange come. Not a girl of the center for you.
Is it easy for you to use this device tonight?
Got away with one of the greatest.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us tonight?
Ascension.
What?
He said ascension.
It did say ascension, did it?
Mm-hmm.
During a paranormal investigation live charity event in 2018, we had what was possibly the scariest message from the Council of 12. A message that said the great change was coming, and it would start with a word that I didn't recognise. I was not present during this session, and we are using an app that had no connectivity to the internet whatsoever. Somehow these words were given in front of several witnesses, and they spoke of events that all of us now have experienced.
If there's any spirits of light and love with us now that want to communicate, please come forward and use this device.
It sounds familiar. You said that, Mom? You're gonna face Larry. Over there, okay? Basically what happens is, if spirits move...
That's what it's designed for. Okay, so imagine... I'll show you more.
Yeah, the passes in front of
Yeah. Yeah, see how it... What did you say? I'm trying to reach out. Can you... We're talking spirits of light and love. Can you come forward and communicate with us, please?
Fire, fire.
Is any spirits of light and love with us now?
I was getting direct communication from my brother, who was coming forward and telling me that just giving me more and more validation that he was there.
That's where you'll see the head.
Communicate with us. What was that? Did anyone else see that? I started going through these messages that I had received so many years before, and it was quite humbling, because the messages were so kind and gentle and loving, but they were straight to the point. So how far? I'm gonna okay. And we were also getting communication from these beings, and we finally had a name for them, known as they were known as the Council of 12. And when I look back now through the sessions, they were been referred to a few times as the Council of 12, and we've even got one saying the 12 appeared in the bedroom, in your bedroom. It was them that came and spoke to you. It got to a point where the paranormal was just getting so intense and so crazy that we kind of lost. I was starting to lose sense of myself.
It was back in 2013, and I had an email saying I've been using a sleep pod and I've picked up voices. So I went along to investigate. And I can remember in this moment saying to her, and it was about 30 minutes in, I feel like there's a curse. And I can remember getting quite upset. And I can remember thinking, you know, it's a bit strange. But basically that's how she felt. So she started telling me her history and her links to some things that are quite extraordinary. So me and Gary had gone to this investigation at the property, and it started off quite normally, and Gary was using quite a new device called the Ovulus. And we start to get responses, and we can feel different energy around the property. And then all of a sudden, Gary says, "Rich, my back's burning." Well, I can remember him lifting up his top, and he had a set of 3 scrams running from his shoulder to just by his hip, the full length of his back. And when he took his top up, I went, "Bloody hell, guy." I said, "I didn't know you had like John J. Rambo scars on your back." Like, I said, "That's crazy." He said, "I haven't got no scars on my back." I said, "But I'm looking at them, and they look like old white scars, because they were quite thick and standing out off his back." And as I'm staring at them, they just start to pick with blood. And then the blood starts to appear then, coming down his back. So I'd asked a gentleman called Lionel Fanthorpe, who is a supernatural vicar, played himself in the film The Omen. And I'd watched him on this series called Weird Wales, and I was a big fan and admirer. And I'd phoned him up and asked him if he would do an exorcism on the property, because the church wasn't helping.
Richard would work on this case between 2013 and 2018. In March of 2018, it finally came to an end. However, for Richard, the consequences were devastating.
Everybody involved and everybody around me had started to be affected in some form or other with personal things. And they were to do with all sorts, and they were to do with like relationship issues. I was dealing with my own relationship issues. And everybody seemed to be around me. I can't go into too much detail, guys, because it's very personal, but you'll just have to take it on faith and take my word for it that they were all linked to relationship issues. And everybody seemed to come to me with their issues and sort of place them on my shoulders, if you like. And I was there for people. And old members of my team, I'd come back in contact with us. Now I'm starting to see this, and I said to Spirit, if you want me to do these things, if you want me to deal with them, and I mean this thing really can affect you. I mean, it can destroy things. Now this is power. This is like the power of, this is like the battle of good and evil. And I'd stepped my foot over that line, and now I was in kind of trouble. But the fact I'd done it through love for this person, and I wanted to see him have a better life, was a little bit of saving grace on my part.
Walking round battered.
The tree in front of you, Jack.
Zero flax living.
Stop a minute. Tell it to back off, bud. Get it to back off. Get it to back off, bud. Tell it to back off. Tell it to back off. Tell it to back off. Just get it to back off, bud. Do you want to go for a minute?
In 2018, we had to take a break. Everything again just kind of broke down. And I had to take a massive step back, and emotionally I was an absolute wreck. I was struggling with all this stuff that we'd had, all the stuff that was going on, the fact I'd have these experiences and they'd be so out of this bloody world that, you know, I'd tell them back to myself, or I'd tell them to other people, and I'd be like, I don't even believe this happened, and I went through it. And it was crazy. We still kept doing cases up until about August of 2018, but after that then things did kind of stop quite a bit. We've just seen a UFO. We tried to capture it. It didn't capture, unfortunately, which we are gutted about, but we're actually on our way to Llantrys Common now because Richard is being drawn up there, so we're going to find out.
The direction it headed. It just flew over our heads. It was huge, and there was no sound at all. It had multiple lights on it. It wasn't an airplane, it wasn't an helicopter, it wasn't a sound.
Right, as you can see, you'll see the dots in the middle of the screen. There are dots on the horizon lights, and they are slowly but surely lifting up. I'll try and zoom in. They are, that is not a town or city or anything. They are actually moving up towards the sky. As you can see, the one is lighting up the clouds in the distance. There are 5 lights just on the edge of the horizon. There they are. That is just mounting. Don't know what they are.
Can you see them on the camera?
Yeah, again, I'm just in the distance, but are there beings out there that want to harm us? No, we need to know. You give us these messages.
Are these beings on Earth right now?
Don't know why.
Where I live in Wales, just out of the view of this window, is a place called Power Station Hill, because there obviously is a power station and it is a hill going up into a different village to where we live. And like most of you who are interested in the paranormal, I like to skywatch, and you got an amazing view in the night sky, probably about a 25 mile, 30 mile view. Myself and Jazz, just over a year ago, had an incident where we were stopped on this power station here at the top of it, because they've built a bypass that leads to this area. We saw a UFO. Well, I say I saw it because I got out the car, and it was a kite shaped like a reverse kite. So you imagine a kite with the long bit, the long end going forward. It flew straight over our heads. When it got away from me, it was like, sort of like the back of it was oblong with a pyramid at the top and a smaller pyramid at the bottom, and the sides were square. It was bizarre. It made no sound at all. Just about make out the sound of the air breaking, the wind that was like hitting this object. Now, a couple of months ago, I saw this a very similar object in the night sky. You'll see a video that I took. It was quite late in the night. It was about a month before Christmas, and it was of this object coming across the sky and just stopping. Now these things just go out. I've not seen one shoot off, but what they do regularly is just go out. Now I know the difference between an airplane, a helicopter and a star. Okay, before anybody asks or you comment on the video. And a couple of days ago we saw one and it was incredible. It came over the mountain, come up into the sky and just stopped. That object you can see right there, I have just watched come up from that viewpoint where the lights are, up into the night sky over there. Sorry, you can't see it on the video, but there is about 8 lights flashing. I looked through my girlfriend's glasses and she has like glare correctional glasses for driving, and when I looked through her glasses it was a triangle. This object in the sky was a triangle, a black triangle with lights on it. I've got a couple of other people have witnessed it. It wasn't as much as I thought we're going to say they witnessed this thing. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, but this is happening quite regular. Now, I've been sky watching for years. I've had my own UFO experiences. I've got people that's been close to me that's had these experiences, but this little area over here, you won't be able to see it through the window. It is just there where, you get that right? The lights, yeah. Just sort of in that direction where the lights are, is Power Station Hill. And I've been told, and I've had people approach me saying that they've witnessed UFOs in that area, and this is going back from about the 80s. These phenomena has been going on that long that people have told me about. They've witnessed these things.
Why? If you're where these ships are going, time in their lives.
We also have a response on the ghost box. As most of you know who've watched our channel, we did this thing called Now Investigations Live, where we did live ghost boxes. Well, I had a message saying that these beings, whatever they are that's communicating with us, we're still not sure, this Council of 12 saying that they can, what we are seeing, the back of the house, which is, this is the back, okay, I'm in the bedroom right now, the back of the house, the things we can see over the woods, which you can't see right now, but I'll try and show you in the day another time, is woods. It's us. That's what this ghost box recording says. They say it's us, you can see. I don't know what to make of it. It's crazy. You were going to see a military helicopter circling, flying round, and it had, I've never seen anything like it. If any of you guys know what it is, you know, one side it was a red light, the other side was a green light, and somewhere in the middle was a white light. It flew around this area, and we were filming it because it was just acting very odd. It wasn't a police helicopter. I believe it was a military helicopter. It looked like a military helicopter, and something flew past it. Sorry about the language, because the camera doesn't do it justice. I was filming from my phone. I'm filming it to you guys now. It was like a ball of molten fire, and it flew past the helicopter, and the helicopter did not respond to it. Now, yesterday there was huge, you know, the big military carriers like the Hercules going past. We've had police helicopters going, military helicopters flying past. But this video you're going to see, guys, have a look at it. This object, for whatever reason, the helicopter appeared not to see it. It came really close to it. It was not a helicopter. There was no extra sound, and it just flew away over in that direction towards Cardiff. It is crazy. Well, you can hear our reactions. I've never, I can't even describe it. I've seen, obviously, UFOs. You've seen my videos in the past, but this thing was bizarre. That one's still there.
I know it is.
That one's still there. That one's kind of stopped now. Right, you can hear.
See how you got that?
That sounds like an helicopter, but I've never seen helicopters doing that with colours. Going. I don't know what that was. But that is going away.
Gone.
Oh,
it's
no.
come back.
Oh, it's come back.
It's gone again.
Right, that is in the sky. That was the helicopter. You believe? What? That was crazy cool. Mental.
So something even I've done with it. Social media, wagging the silver light. After the police told them many of his views, just don't know. Do you know if she's in?
In 2020, it became plain to see that the messages that we were receiving from the Council of 12 were very much indeed real. So were the messages from Jonathan, and so was the multitude of paranormal experiences that we have experienced. We have developed this channel and shown this evidence because we believe this message is a message of love. It shows the best of humanity. It shows the best of who we can be. And if it's one thing that can be said about the year we have all just lived, is that it's held a mirror up to the world. It's made us think of things that we may have never thought of before. It's made us ask questions that we would have never asked before, in our personal lives and our lives we spend with each other in society, all as children of planet Earth. That is how Spirit and the Council of 12 see us. After seeing that UFO and having the message and having further validation, we redoubled our efforts to produce more videos and reach more of you guys and connect with different people around the world who have had their own experience through our Wednesday Night Now debates, some of which even have had their own experiences with the Council of 12. In 2020 we have had the Pentagon revelations, an Israeli high-ranking official talking about the Galactic Federation. So much is coming out nowadays, and we're being asked to think about things we possibly would never have thought of. There is no need for this information to create any divide. It is supposed to bring us together, without exception. and show the best of humanity. These messages that we have had through the Ghost Box over the course of the last 7 or 8 years, we continue to put on the channel, and they have talked about events such as the global pandemic, such as the American election, such as so many different things that can be derived personally and by society. And it is our hope that by putting this message out there, that we can have an impact in the lives of people who are watching. We thank each and every one of you that have taken the time to watch our videos. It has not been easy going on this journey, but it has been fulfilling and it has been worthwhile. And seeing some of the most amazing feedback that you guys give us really does help. We hope that this gives you a little bit of an overview of our story. There is so much more to tell, and so much more yet to be revealed. In the thousands of hours of sessions that we have done, we have only transcribed but a fraction. So join us on this journey. Thank you for watching, and we love you all.